All right, guys, welcome to the arrival.
Hey guys, how's everybody? Listen,
Kenny is here and he's going to demonstrate.
well, I'm just going to give a overview of how solar power works.
Okay.
Now, as far as me, before I left the States, I purchased some items. And I go through each one. Yes, family. So, like I said, what we're going to do here, I just wanted to come around and get a view. This is a tower that I built. I remember that tower, baby, when I was working that one? That was something. Anyway.
Yes.
Yeah. Then, the way I did it was actually, I built the cells first. That's a cell. Well, not the cell, but the actual housing for the cells. And I built those, and I'll go through how I did that. But my whole purpose, like I said, is to give an overview of how solar power, which transfers it from the sun on the cells, and how it actually goes from the cell, which is a simulation. This is like a simulation of a solar panel. And then it connects to this, which is called a controller. Then, even though this isn't the actual battery, you need a 12-volt deep cycle marine battery. And I have two of them coming, but this is what I'm going to use right now as a demonstration. And then I have a 15-watt inverter, which is actually what generates the power to my 110. If you can see, those are the receptacles, the plugs on the back. Now, this is pure wave inverter. In other words, you gotta look that up. I'm not gonna get into all the details, all the technical things, but I just wanted to give you an overview of how it works. So this is 110, but here in the Gambia, everything is 220. So if I wanna hook this whole system up, I have to create a whole new 110 system for whatever I'm gonna use it for, say the house, say a little storage shed, because this inverter only works with 110 appliances, okay? If that's understandable. And they do have them here. They have like 3,000 watts, 4,000 watt, 8,000 watt inverters. But anyway, before we start, any questions, babe?
Not yet.
Not yet?
Far, I understand.
You understand so far? Okay, so to start it all off, to make the cell, if you can take this here and I'm gonna grab a hold of that box and show you. Basically, here we go, guys. This is a solar cell.
Mm-hmm.
This here.
Yes.
And I had 2 boxes of these before I left. All right? This is a solar cell, and if you can see, get a close-up on the back of it, if you can. This is the positive side of the back of the solar cell. That's the negative side of the back of the solar cell. Okay, I have connectors that goes here, and you solder them onto this, and then you solder it on this side. Then you take, as you lay them down here, you take a strap, which is solar soldering strap, okay? And what I did was take the soldering iron, put it on here onto the, I have to get those connectors and I soldered it together, okay?
Yeah.
So, once it's soldered together, then I connected the positive side to the negative side, which is series, and this is 2 of them. There's one on this side too, see?
Mm-hmm.
Then I flipped it up and folded it around on a polycarbon board. Now you can get the clear if it's called polycarbon. You have to be careful with these, they break easily.
What's that breaks?
The solar cell.
Oh, the cell, okay.
See the solar cell like that?
Yeah.
Then as it is connected to the other one from positive to negative, wrapped around, you have another one on this side.
Yeah.
Then I would sleeve them with these little plastic end caps.
Yeah, I remember you made those.
I made those, all right. And so basically, I made all of these over here like I showed you from the very beginning.
Yes.
And then once I did that, I had glass. I had some guy cut me a glass 2 pieces of glass. I put one on side, put this on the other side, like this, and took the end caps and actually popped them on side on each side, right? And made my own solar cells.
You have more of those end caps in there,
Where?
in the other room.
Pause it, let me go see if I can find it. I'll show you what they look like.
Okay. Okay.
Okay guys, we're back. I couldn't find the white ones that I used. I had the silver ones that I used as brackets on here to hold like this. And, but actually, you know, with the other ones were plastic, so they're easy to cut into a 45-degree angle. As you can see, these work well too, but you know, you had to put a hole here for the wires, okay? Now, I'm not gonna get into all the technicalities of how I put it together. I just wanted to show you how I made this, which is like simulation of a solar panel. Now, each one of these cells, they actually have, I think it's 3.6 watts on them. And here's the box right here. It says, let me see. Can you get a close up on that? These are the solar cells. And they show like 3.6 watts on them.
Okay.
So if you want to understand a little more, this is like, say a solar panel is a big, you know, long square box, and it has like 100 cells on it.
Yeah.
Now, if I had a solar panel and hooked them all together with these three, I could have 300 watts if I had 100 panels, 300.6. So that would be a lot of wattage coming off of one panel, which is good. Now, and I ordered these before I left the States, so if you come in, you know, if you want to do that, order them on eBay before you leave, and order your controller before you leave. Now, I would advise if you want to go 220 into your house or whatever you're going to use, buy your inverter here, because it would be a lot easier. So I'm going to use this though. All I need is to get my batteries. You know, if I have my batteries, I will show you how it all works. But right now, I'm just give you an overview, like I said. So, like, here it is. The sun shines on the cells. In that cell, you have a positive and a negative, okay? That comes out of here and goes into the comptroller, okay? It goes into, it has a little solar cell right here. And you put it on the positive and the negative side of the solar cell. Connect it in, that's how it's connected. And once this connects here, I'll just go like this, guys, okay? Thank you. That goes connection here, and then you tighten it up, okay? Yeah, you tighten it up, and then let's be careful. But anyway, you tighten it up. Then you have this solar cell now, and connected to the comptroller.
Right.
Then you take the comptroller and connect it to the battery. Why?
Why?
You said why?
Why?
Did I hear you say why?
I think so.
The reason is that if you took the cell and connected it directly to the battery, now I'm no expert on this, guys, but I'm just trying to give it an overview. It would overcharge the battery because there's no control on how much charge is going to the battery. So when you have a comptroller, it controls the actual charge that's going to the battery. Okay, so it doesn't overcharge the battery and damage it. Now that's just an overview, and there's more technical answers to that. So, but the whole thing is, once again, from the solar panel to the comptroller. Okay, out of the comptroller to the battery, control the battery. Now, once we get to the battery, we have to have a power source. Now, you can get 2 of them connected, and it's called in a parallel. Look up on Google it what parallel means. Okay, that means it's connected positive to negative, positive to negative, and you can make a 24-volt system here. Without getting into detail, I just want to tell you the overview of how it works. So once you have your battery pack set up the way you want, either 12 volt, 24 volt, then this inverter is a 12 volt to 110 inverter. So I can use 110 on this. Everything I'm going to plug into now, it comes from the battery, because I'll take This negative, which is right here, basically, I'm going to show you what it looks like on the back of this inverter. Okay, if you see,
Yes.
this inverter would plug to a 12-volt battery, just like the battery in your car, pretty much. Yeah, you know, and the 12-volt battery is about the size of the battery in your car. And you take that, you connect these connectors onto the battery, negative
Negative?
and positive.
Positive.
Now keep in mind when you do the positive, they have a fuse to protect in case there's too much amperage going through. And this fuse will control that.
Okay.
In other words, so you don't have too much going and it will damage this thing here.
So, question. All right, so if I brought something from the States and it's 110, like just say my blender, and if I had a real battery, all I have to do is connect it into the sockets in the back.
Just like at home back in the States. See those?
Yeah, and it would work.
It would work.
Wow.
If I had a battery, you remember you saw when I hooked up a drill to it.
Yes, I saw that.
That drill was full power.
Yes.
And that was off a 1 deep cycle marine battery.
Yeah.
And if you look it up online, you'll see that, and do your homework, that's all I'll say, do your homework on the batteries, and you'll get a better understanding.
So this is a general overview of
anyone who wants to do solar when they come
solar
here or anywhere on the continent. And I'm sure there are more how do you say, informative videos.
Yeah.
But, you know, I like to do it myself.
I have a question.
Yeah.
My question is, what if I had a solar panel that I brought myself and I didn't make? Okay.
Yeah.
So with the solar panel that I brought myself had that black and red thing coming from the bottom of it, and I would do this process the exact same. I'm asking.
Well, no, they won't be black and red. From the solar panel, okay, they have on the back of them plugs, connectors.
Oh.
You see it, and it plugs in. Now, it should have 2 of them like this.
On the solar panel?
On the solar panel.
Yeah.
So you plug into that, and you plug into this, and then this one is for actually to connect solar panels.
Oh.
Okay, so this one comes from one solar panel to another solar panel.
So you can get more wattage.
Yeah, so if you have one solar panel, so this is a solar panel.
Yeah.
With 100 like a regular solar cell. On the back of it, you would connect into it right here.
Right.
Just up in there, just
Right.
like that. And then you would take this one and connect to this one and run that over to the other one.
Oh.
And then it runs.
So that
well,
means.
not into that one, but it actually runs. You're getting off into something I wasn't trying to put.
Oh, I'm
That's
sorry.
the connectors of the solar panel.
Well,
But
the
these are
reason,
connectors. This
the
is what they
reason,
look like.
okay, the reason why I asked that question was because most people are going to be bringing their own solar panels.
Well, I'll get someone to hook up your solar panels if that's the
So
case.
my question was not to get you off course, was to say, is it the same process,
Yeah.
just that it's a different panel?
Yeah, it's just different wires.
Okie
Yeah,
dokie.
this is just to show you what happens.
Right.
The only reason why I'm doing this video is to show you what happens with the solar power.
Okay. I have one more question, teacher, and I hope this is not taking you and throwing you off course. But if I had my own solar panel, right,
Yeah.
and it was laying right there where that one you just
This?
yeah,
Uh-huh.
if it was laying right there, I would take the connector and I would still connect it to the controller. Is that what you're
Yeah, it's
right?
going to come from here. You could have, like say this is one cell. You have one solar panel, another solar panel, another solar panel. They have to be connected to each other.
Right.
Okay, and then out of the last one, it comes into here.
That's what
And
my
then
question was.
The more you connect, the more wattage you have.
Right. And
The
so
more- yeah.
so my question was, not to cut you off, was the process is exactly the same.
It's the same as if you have one, as if you have
Yes.
7.
I got you.
Right.
Alrighty. So
so-
that seems like okay. So far I'm following.
Okay, so even with this here,
Controller.
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 If I took this controller and had a solar set go into here, connected to the battery, and these have USB ports, you can plug into these.
Like
and
cell
charge your
phones.
or
Yeah.
whatever it may be.
Oh. I love the little baby simulator battery. Like
Yeah.
how many watts comes from that thing?
No, this isn't it. This is for the generator.
Oh, oh, so it's really a simulation. Okay,
It's a simulation.
Okay. Yeah.
The regular batteries are about this big, and they are heavy.
okay.
You know, I priced them at the here on the continent in Gambia, and I found them ranging from, I'll say, 9,000 dalasi to like 14,000 dalasi.
Not bad.
No, not too bad. In dollars, you look up your converter guys on what the dollars are. But I just said this here, I want to show you what I had to make the cell in regards. This is ribbon.
It is what?
Ribbon.
Ribbon?
And if you've ever seen a solar panel, you see this silver strip that goes around, it connects all the cells.
Oh yeah?
And this is what they solder onto it. And I was just using it to connect one cell to the other.
Okay.
Okay, and this here is a soldering pin. This cleans the back of these before you solder them.
Okay.
Because you want to make sure they're clean. And this here is acid core solder.
Is what?
This is the solder.
Oh, okay.
See
Oh,
the
that's what.
solder?
Yeah. I see. And
Where
that's the
you mount it
gun.
on the soldering gun.
Yeah. All right.
Now, I would recommend a flat tip, not the pointed tip. Flat tip works a lot better for me. It did for me.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, the whole purpose of this video is not that I'm an expert.
Oh, you're not.
Not an expert.
You're
but
not?
I know enough to make this happen. And I would advise everyone to, you know, make its every effort to understand how it all works. And that way, when you are trying to do sustainable living,
Mm-hmm.
that you have some knowledge of what you're trying to accomplish. Because conception, you have to conceive it, and then when you can conceive it, you can bring forth.
You
that
can
concept.
achieve it once
You can achieve it, no, but you got to bring it forth.
No, once you conceive it, then you can achieve it. But you have to have conception first.
There you go.
Yeah.
Right. So, with that being said, this is the tower.
This
If
is
I can
the
get a
tower.
front view, a front- You see, I connected all these cells
Mm-hmm.
to each other in the
Okay.
series.
All right.
And I'm gonna redo this whole thing.
Right.
This was just like a quick prototype. And if you could come around and give one more view, a close-up view on the back of the solar cell.
Okay.
And here's the actual solar box.
Yes.
Now, I mean, I would love to have some more of these if I could get them, but it's hard to get them here because they cost so much to ship. Okay, but here, if you can see here, remember on the back of here, I was talking, you put a connector?
Yes.
It's like a metal strip that I soldered to the back of this.
Interesting.
Okay, and to this too. And then on the back side, I connected them over here and I brought both of them out here.
Okay.
And then, like I said, here's the controller.
Controller.
Take a good look at that.
Good look. Yes.
All right, and this is a 50 amp,
50 amp controller.
12 volt, and a 24 volt. You got to
Oh.
make sure you get both. If you get a 12 volt for a 24 volt system, it's
It's
not
not gonna work.
And then my baby battery, which is not really it. And then, because you go from the charger to charge the battery, then you go from the inverter for your power source. And this is your power source. So you can connect that up to something like this. Let me see. Come over here. Let me show you.
We're gonna. Oh, that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Connected to a circuit breaker.
Oh, okay.
And that's how you get your power.
All right.
All right, so I hope this was helpful, guys.
Well,
And
thank you, teacher. I think that I have learned something new today.
Did you learn?
I learned something new. I learned that what a controller is.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, and the purpose of it is to regulate the wattage that's going to the battery so the battery doesn't get overcharged. Am I correct?
It has other functions,
Am
but
I
that's primarily right.
primarily right?
Okay.
And I learned that it wasn't a waste for me to bring some of my 110 stuff because that inverter is 110, so I'll be able to use a lot of my things once the battery comes, huh?
There you go. And on that note, if you see it, this is a 1500 watt inverter.
Is that a lot of wattage?
Well, if you look at what you would do, say I have a light bulb that
Yeah.
burns 10 watts.
Mm-hmm.
And I burn 10 watts an hour.
Yeah.
Out of that 10 watts, you subtract it from the 1500 watts that is being produced.
Okay.
You understand that? So say you have, I'll say it says 15 watts, say 1,000 light bulbs. Then 15 times 1,000 is what, 15,000? Won't work. So you have 100 light bulbs. So you do the math. You understand what I'm saying?
You do the math.
You calculate. Say if you have a
So if I have a television,
yeah that has like what 25 watts,
25 watts,
then
I can use the television and I can use the lights that have 15 watts because that's only
it's
taking
still under the 15.
it's only taking 35 watts for me.
Right. And
Okay.
so there's something else that happens with that. Each one of these batteries, my batteries have 200 amp hours, and that matters too.
The amperage
Because the amp
hours.
Because the more you use, the more subtracted.
Right.
And not to get too complicated, but you should only use 80% of the battery. Okay, that's another story. Look it up.
80%?
80%. You don't want to damage the battery. And that helps it stay a longer life.
So,
Yeah. I know there's some electricians out there that are going to be giving me some feedback, and that's good because if I'm saying anything wrong, help me out. That helps me out.
question, teacher.
Sure.
So if this solar panel is out in the sun constantly, right?
Yeah.
Because it's daytime. So am I ever going to use 80% of my battery if it's constantly being, if
Well, that
watt?
depends on you. So if you have a hot water heater that runs 1,000 watts,
Yeah.
okay, and you're running 1,000 watt hot water heater off a 1,500 watt converter that's drawing off to the battery, that's
Every
sucking
day.
up the battery, and the battery has 200 amp hours, and if you have one of them, it could be like 3,000 amp hours that's reproducing, so you're sucking it out and pulling it out. I mean, you can definitely deplete a battery.
Oh, you
And so at
can.
night, when the battery it usually gets depleted because it's not being charged
At nighttime.
at nighttime because there's nothing coming from the sun. So that's another story, but I'm not going to get into that because you could always go with a wind turbine at night.
But I want to know.
Yeah.
I want to know, teacher, about this nighttime thing. If I'm a type of person that I don't do too much things during the day, except the usual, shower, maybe watch a little bit, little bit of TV. I should be good.
Yeah.
And my battery should never die, right? Because the sun is producing this thing is collecting sunlight all day,
Yeah.
and it's
charging
replenishing
the
my
battery.
battery.
Right.
So if I only do a little bit, shouldn't I have like at nighttime? Shouldn't I still have?
You should have enough
Yeah.
because you're not burning a lot. Now, remember our batteries? Remember how much I calculated that they would hold as far as amp hours? It was like
Yes.
6,000 amp hours when you calculate it. And there's a formula to calculate it, and I'm not going to get into that.
Oh please, I
So
don't
we
want to
had two
do
of
that.
them. We had
I
two
hate
batteries.
calculations. No, it's like
That was on a 24, I think it was a 24 volt system. And they would actually generate at least 6,000 watt hours. And now 6,000 watt hours is like 6 kilowatts.
that's a lot of
That's
electricity.
we use this with cash power almost every day anyway.
6
5 to 6,000
kilowatts
kilowatts
a day.
a day.
6,000
That's a lot, but
sounds like a lot.
well, you running.
I don't.
You got the lights running, you got the air conditioner running, you got the fans running, you got the hot water heater running, you got.
No. I'm not running air condition.
No, anyway, when you do.
Okay.
But that's what happens. But even with that, at night, that should hold that charge throughout the night. Is what I
Yeah.
was getting to.
Okay.
So it's a lot involved. Do your homework, and what you want to do is just basically go around to all your appliances in your house and see how much wattage is going to be used pretty much at the same time, and that way you can kind of determine how much of a inverter you want to buy. 8,000, they're expensive, they're nice. You can get 4 batteries, you get 3 batteries. It all depends on how you want to set up your system based on what you're going to
So
use.
I want our system set up that you don't even have to question it.
Oh, it will be.
I'm saying like there's so many solar panels and the inverter is like 20,000, so you don't have to worry, you don't have to worry about anything, and you can play whatever you want to play and do whatever you want to do.
Well, see, I want to do it. I guess I can put this out. If I can do it in a 110 inverter and a 220 inverter,
You would do both.
I'll do both.
Can you do that in a
You can
house?
do that. You just have 2 different systems.
Oh.
Yeah, you can use the ambient appliances and you can use the appliances from home. I mean, some people say that might be overkill. Some say no. But when you do that, you gotta make sure you get the receptacles that you're used to using from 110 and put them in your home, and not the Gambia receptacles, because they're different for 220.
Gotcha.
So it just, depends on how you wanna set up your system, okay?
Okay, teacher, is there anything else you want to add, sir?
I hope this was helpful, and, you know, I hope this got somebody some ideas on what they wanna do. Now, like I said, with the solar power at night, you might have a problem with the depletion of the batteries. Here's an option you have. You can change that tower that I built into a wind turbine. And you'd have to switch it over for the battery source.
Well, I think that's stories for other days because
Other days.
who has a wind turbine?
Hey,
I mean, really?
that's, one day I like to make my own.
Well, yeah, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying on a regular, like who's.
You can buy them.
Oh, you
You
can?
can buy them on eBay, you can buy them anywhere. You know, you can buy wind turbines, you can buy whatever you want, but that's sustainable living. You
Okay.
know, and that's your power source. Then you have your borehole, which you have your water, you know, and you can actually run your borehole from the same type of system with a solar power borehole or pump.
Pump.
But
Yeah.
anyway,
Okay.
thank you guys.
Well, thank you, teacher.
Oh, no, thank you.
It is time for our
You
our
have been
break.
a wonderful student. You're very inquisitive.
Oh,
You
yeah.
asking those questions that keep me on my toes.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, guys. See you the next time.
All right. Thank you so much for your lesson.
You're welcome.
Okay. Bye.